Gambhire Hanumant. We have our expert panel members are there, and Dr. Harish Dureja is there. Dr. Harish is currently working as professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, MDU, Rohtak. Along with this, he is holding other distinguished positions at university level, such as Dean, Research and Department, Director at IPR Cell, and Director at Professional Consultancy Cell, and Convener ISC at MDU, Rohtak. He has an excellent professional profile with more than 21 years of teaching and 17 years of research experience. He guided 17 PhD scholars and more than 60 master's students under his expertise. He is well recognized at both national and international level in the field of nanoparticulate drug delivery, regulatory affairs, chemical computation and in silico ADME modeling and PPD. With more than 200 publications in various peer-reviewed journals, 1 book, 18 book chapters, 1 filed patent and several invited talks, he has contributed significantly toward the pharmacy field. He is currently working as a content writer and reviewer for e-Pathshala program also of Ministry of HRD for PG courses, and also selected as guest editor for several reputed peer-reviewed journals. He successfully completed several research projects under government agencies like AICT, UGC and Haryana State Council for Science and Technology. For his exemplary work, he has been awarded 2 times with Best Paper Award and Young Pharmacy Teacher of the Year Award in 2014 and Best Thesis Award by MDU and many more. With this brief introduction, we are going to like to welcome you, sir. It's our pleasure to have you here. Thank you, sir.
So, good afternoon all. My name is Hanumant Gambhire. I am a PhD scholar in the School of Pharmaceutical Science. I am working in Mankind Research Center, Delhi, as a general manager for formulation development of sterile products. I am having 20 years of industrial experience. Earlier to Mankind, I work in Alchem Laboratories, Mumbai. Earlier to that, MK Pharmaceutical Limited, Pune, and Samrat Pharmaceutical Limited, Mumbai, and Biogenics India Limited, Pune. So, in the same area, formulation development of sterile products. The specialization of experience in sterile products, formulation development and technology transfer. So, because of my personal experience at industry, I chose the topic of my thesis, which I am going to present today. So, my research topic is USFDA warning letters issued to pharmaceutical industries for cGMP violation pertaining to sterile products analysis and guidance. Under the supervision of Dr. Monica Gulati, co-supervised by Dr. Sachin Kumar Singh and Dr. Atul Nasa. So let's get started. So in the today's presentation, in the introduction sections, I will brief about the sterile products, its importance, then role of USFDA, then cGMP, applicable 21 CFRs to the pharmaceutical products, and then Form 483, type of inspections, outcome of inspections, and then impact of warning letters, impact of non-compliance of the cGMP. In the literature review, I will highlight the recent warning letters published by USFDA, and then I will summarize the crux of warning letters related to the sterile products, the research gaps, and the aim and objective will be discussed, and in the research methodology which is adopted for the research will be presented, and then in the result and discussion section I will throw the lights on the some discriminable trend observed for the warning letters, and in the summary and conclusion sections I will sum up all those studies performed, all this work performed, and summarize the findings, and also emphasize on the significance of the study. So as a part of research, I attended conferences and published few papers in the journals, and the reference cited in the research will be presented in the sections of the references in the last slides. So we'll go to the introduction sections. So what is sterile products? The sterile products is a drug or device that is free from living microorganism, and that has been produced and packaged in a way that minimizes the contaminations. So these products are designed for administration into the human body, and thus are critical for ensuring the patient safety. These products includes the injectables, ophthalmic products, even in OT also, in intravenous fluids, surgical implants. So thus the critical part is for the dosage form is sterility, because this can any contamination can lead to the serious health consequences to the patients. So the product has undergone a validated process to ensure the sterility through by adopting the process like terminal sterilizations or aseptic processes. And this processing requires a highly controlled environment process to ensure the final product is free from microbiological contamination. It should be the sterile. This includes the specialized equipment has to be used for producing the sterile products. Then validated procedure and rigorous quality controls are required for manufacturing the sterile products. So due to the high demand of sterile products, including vaccine, there was a pandemic situation was there. So during the pandemic, we have seen the vaccines, which is the sterile products, the demand of these products get increased. So the focus of other manufacturers has increased for manufacturing of the such products. So also, since the focus has increased on the dosage form is a critical one, so the regulatory authorities are more rigorously enforcing the cGMP compliances for the sterile products. So now we'll see the role of USFDA. So USFDA is the regulatory authority from the US, which regulates the products, which includes the drug products, the human drug products, as well as the veterinary products, then biological products, medical devices, food and cosmetic, as well as the products that contains the radiation, emit the radiations. So we know the cGMP, which stands for current good manufacturing practices, where the C stands for the current, which indicates the whatever the regulations or whatever the practices has to be followed for GMP should be current. The regulation has to be followed for manufacturing of the products which should be in the current state. So this cGMP regulations were established by USFDA to ensure the quality of the products, which including the pharmaceutical, food and medical devices. So there are two major CFR part, Code of Federal Regulation part, which relates to the manufacturing of the products, which includes the 21 CFR part 210, which titles the cGMP manufacturing process and packaging of holding of drugs in general, and 21 CFR part 11, which titles the cGMP for finished pharmaceuticals. So now we'll see the type of inspection as a regulatory perspective. USFDA performs the 4 types of inspection, which includes the PAI, pre-approval inspections, post-approval inspections. Then third one is the surveillance inspection, and fourth one is the for-cause inspection. In the pre-approval inspection, we know before approving any drug product, that has to be dossier has to be filed. For example, abbreviated new drug application like ANDA, or even new drug product application NDA. So before approving the products from respective manufacturing site, FDA performs the pre-approval inspection, and during this stage, FDA inspect or see whether this manufacturing facility is following the whatever the information given during the dossier, whether they have the right equipments, whether they have the right validated process. During the inspection, they inspect those things, and then only they give the approval of the products to the US markets. So this post-approval inspection performs after approving the products to the market. It is generally performed after 2 to 3 years of approving the product. And this surveillance inspection is the routine inspections where there is as a routine cycle they perform the inspections. And for cause inspections is triggered when there is a serious issues in the manufacturing plant, or there are the situations of warning letters earlier to that, due to which manufacturing process or manufacturing is halted by that particular firm. So this in this case for cause inspections was happened. And also if the FDA has information that there are certain quality issues in the products, there are certain recalls from the market, in that case for cause inspections are performed by USFDA. So after the inspection of these 4 types, FDA issues the form 483. So this is the form which is the official notification, official form which issued by FDA after conclusion of the USFDA audit from the respective facility in the form of 483. They cites the observation. This is the typical form 483 which is issued to the Zydus Life Sciences Limited of this Gujarat-based company. So like that, this is the abstract version, observation 1 they are citing as. So after issuance of the warning letter, form 483, a firm or company has to respond within 15 days to their response with maybe corrective actions or any commitment to the FDA mentioning the response to the observations. So each observations, each point has to be addressed and responded to the USFDA through the response to the form 483. So now we'll see the outcome of the inspection. Upon submission of the response, form 483 observation, FDA classifies the actions in minor finding, critical finding and major finding. So in the minor finding, no actions indicated, means FDA inspector satisfies with the manufacturing facility and they judge that the manufacturing facility is capable, firm can continue their productions from those facility. Basically there are no observations in that, zero observation, we can say zero observations. So in that case minor findings, so no action indicated like that, they give the clearance. And in the critical findings, the voluntary action indicated. This means that the response is acceptable, but still there is the gap which has to be addressed by FDA before continuing their manufacturing from the sites. And they in this case there is a critical but not kind of major findings, like say there is no sterility breach, there are operational observations are cited in the form of under the critical finding sections. So third one is the major findings. Here the FDA issues the official actions indicated status to the particular file. In this case the FDA judged that the response is unacceptable and which impacts the patient's safety due to the manufacturing of the products in unacceptable conditions, and in this case they issues the warning letters to the particular company. So this is the flow of the outcome of inspections, or we can say results of inspections. And Then we'll move to the warning letters. So warning letter is an official document that notifies the manufacturer of a cGMP violation found during the inspections. After reviewing the Form 483 response, FDA judged that the response is not acceptable. There are major non-compliances during the manufacturing. So FDA issues the warning letters. So this is the typical warning letters after responding the Zydus, and they got the warning letters. So this is extracted from the website. These warning letters are publicly available and can be found in the USFDA websites. So now we'll see the impact of warning letters. So due to the warning letters to the particular firm, the regulatory bodies from the US as well as the other regions like EMA or even from CDSCO, they will start for the inspections based on the warning letter issued from the USFDA, because these warning letters are publicly available. There will be the notification through the BSC, it is publicly basically available. So everyone will knows that like Zydus has got the warning letters. So CDSCO will start the investigation, and then in that case the firm cannot continue the manufacturing of those products. So they have to recall the products. Then by recalling this product and halting the manufacturing process, ultimately there will be the financial loss to the particular company. And also the, as I said, the reputational damage will be there, because everyone will knows that there is a quality issues in the respective manufacturing site, respective company. So the reputational damage will be there. And also whatever the new product applications or A&D applications filed from the respective manufacturing site of that company, the FDA will not approve those until and unless you comply those observations, redo the inspections and take a corrective actions. Then only FDA approves those products from particular manufacturing facility. And ultimately the approval is stopped, and manufacturing process will be halted. And also in some of the cases, the potential legal consequences will be also, situation will be arised due to the warning letters. For example, if the sterile products are exported and due to non-following the cGMP, there will be the contamination in the product. So any patient from the US can sue the company because of the reported adverse impact. So therefore, companies must strictly adhere to the cGMP regulations to avoid the issuance of warning letters, and promptly address any observed issues to maintain the integrity and trust of their products in the market. So now we'll move to the next section, literature section. In these sections, I have highlighted some of the warning letters which are published recently. Post thesis submission, post pre-submission. The duration of these are 1st October 2024 to 30th April 2025. We can see these are the company. One company, Advanced Pharmaceutical Technology, based on the US, has got a warning letters due to the sterility related issues. And then we can say like similarly, Annoys Pharma Limited, then Aspen and BioSteam Life Science got the warning letter due to these reasons. So similarly, we can say this is the India-based, Rajasthan-based company. They got the warning letters due to they supplied the aseptically filled products without adequate validation of aseptic process. We know for the aseptic process validation, there are certain requirements like filter validations, process validation, media fields, like that. So without validating those things, they started the supply to the US market, and due to that reason, and these reasons were found during the inspections, FDA inspections. They have not notified to USFDA in any form we are manufacturing this product without kind of validations. So like that, in Decorim it is Goa, and then background company, which is US based, United States company, has got the warning letter due to this reason. So as a research, I did the literature review, but some of the literature's highlights I have presented here. Key critical literature reviews presented here. Main findings have been presented. You can see this is the recent articles in 2024 published by Ostrich et al. In the outsourced pharma trends. Here they have highlighted the issues like the number of warning letters increased in fiscal year 2023 compared to fiscal year 2022. This was attributed to the continued increase in inspection in the post-COVID-19 period. We know during the COVID-19 there was the travel restrictions was there, and the foreign inspections was not happened. So post-inspection, the number of inspections was increased, and ultimately the number of warning letters got increased. So like that, this Kumar et al. Highlighted the issues of warning letters due to the inadequate batch manufacture records, and then they have suggested that there should be increase in the improvement in the documentation practices. Then another literature, the Ashok B. Patel has highlighted their outcome in the literature that China and India received the second highest number of warning letters from the USFDA in 2019 after the United States. Like that, we can see the warning letters included multiple violation of federal regulation. Sterility assurance was the most common deviation mentioned in the letters. So sterility assurance for the sterile product, sterility assurance is the critical thing, and FDA found that there is a non-compliances, then immediately FDA gives the observations, and then FDA is not satisfied with those observations, they issue the warning letters. So like that, we can see the reasons for mentioned in the literature related to the sterility and other things. So now we'll go to the research gap sections. So review of these literatures and research warning letters suggest that the sterile products require rigorous quality control and manufacturing processes to ensure the sterility and prevent harm to patients. So sterility is the important one. And then the violation of these areas can have serious consequences because of the breach of the sterility. In recent years, there has been a significant increase in the warning letters related to sterility assurance of the products. This surge is attributed to heightened scrutiny and stricter regulatory enforcement, focusing on data integrity and the proper implement of the environmental monitoring practices. These are the highlights we have seen in the literature review section. A paradigm shift in quality culture and transparent interaction with the regulatory is most critical and which is required to deal with the during the inspections. So this shift involves the embracing a proactive approach. So instead of addressing the issues after getting the warning letters, so the company has to do the proactive measures to avoid the warning letters. For that, they have to do proactively approach to the quality management systems. Then they have to build the culture of quality in the organizations. And also the firm has to do the collaboration with the USFDA and other regulatory agencies to understand the requirements. So any observations are related to sterility assurance, the assurance, the patients and as well as the regulatory authority will lose the trust from the particular companies, and also the particular company will lose the credibility and also business from the US market. So the gaps is leading to issuance of warning letters and import alerts while appearing as an oversight. Many times what happened, there are the SOPs are also there, but due to the oversight of those SOPs, those procedures, the non-compliance happens due to the pressure from the for the producing the for increasing the manufacturing of the sterile products. So there is no report available in the literature where USFDA warning letters for the pharmaceutical products for cGMP violation pertaining to sterile products is not available. So which analyze in the deeper way what are the root causes, what are the reasons for the issuing the warning letters. So therefore the structural guidance is also not provided by the pharmaceutical any agency to the pharmaceutical industry, so that the manufacturing sites will overcome the situation of issuance of the warning letters. So aim objective, the aim of the research is at analysis of USFDA warning letters to pharmaceutical industries for cGMP violation pertaining to sterile products and preparation of guidance of therefrom. The objective of research is divided into 4 parts. In the first, analyze the USFDA warning letters issued to pharmaceutical industry for cGMP violation pertaining to sterile products. And in the second part, identify the cause and effect of increased warning letters. So the root cause and effect of increased number of warning letters is being analyzed in the second stage. And they summarize the recurring observation, which will help as a guidelines for all the concerned organizations to avoid similar non-compliances issuing on the particular manufacturing company. And prepare a guidance document which can referred by the pharmaceutical companies involved in the manufacture of the sterile products. So the research methodology what we adopted during the research, we gathered the information about sterile products, sterilization methods, microbiological controls required during the manufacturing of sterile products. We gathered the information about warning letters and cause of their issuance, inspection type, USFDA regulations, like we said, 21 CFR, related to sterile products and cGMP requirements. In the second step, the literature review was done to collect the available information related to the sterile products and warning letters. And in the step 3, all these warning letters were reviewed in the 3 steps. In the first steps, we focused on the Indian pharmaceutical industries, and in the second step, we focused on the US pharmaceutical industries, and in the third steps, rest of the countries, including European countries, were studied from January 2010 to 30th September 2024, which we covered in the thesis part. So about 120 warning letters associated to sterile products issued to global pharmaceutical industry have been studied. And these warning letters are from the global industries. So in the step 4, after reading all these warning letters, causes were classified in the categories based on the nature of the observations. And in the step 5, a guidance document has been prepared for the pharmaceutical industries involved in the manufacture of sterile products to avoid any issues of non-compliance leading to warning letters. So now we'll go to the results and discussion sections. So if you talks about the warning letter statistics, because we know the USFDA is responsible for all the category of these products like veterinary, tobacco, food and cosmetic, drugs, devices and biologicals. The total number of warning letters was 1,51,839 as on 30th September 2024 from January 2010. So we can see here the veterinary related warning letters are 789, which comes up to 0.4%. Tobacco has 95%, and then food and cosmetic has 2.1%. So the scope of our research was drugs, device and biology. So the total warning letters comes up to 3,760, which comes on 2.5%. So if you talk about the overall warning letters to the pharmaceutical industries, which was the figure 3,760. If you see the year-wise distribution of this data, you can see there is a particular perpetual decrease in the warning letter approval for the from 2010 to 2019, which can be attributed to enhanced compliance, enhanced awareness to the manufacturing side, because in initial days there we can say there is a lack of understanding, lack of awareness of the requirements, and later on the awareness was increased, and then later we can see post COVID-19 2019 the increase of warning letters we observed in 2020. This can be attributed due to the COVID-19 pandemic situation, where the demand of drug has increased and due to the uses of drugs for the COVID-19 treatment. And also the reason is that for hitting the warning letters at 2020 higher, during this period there are literatures available. During this period the number of unapproved products were exported, were distributed in the US states, like say in the US hand sanitizer. This is comes under the sterile products, but without approving from the USFDA sites, they started the distribution. For that reason, they have given the warning letters to the particular companies. So, if you go to the warning letters related to sterile products only, the distribution we can see from 2010 to 2021, there is no as such trend is observed, but during post-COVID-19 conditions, pandemic conditions, we can see there is a rise in the warning letters. This we can also attribute it to the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic conditions, where the demand of sterile products, which include the vaccines and other remdesivir drugs, was increased. So if you see the warning letters related to the global pharmaceutical industries, this involves the other dosage forms and now sterile dosage form. The ratio is here plotted. So we can see in 2020 the ratio was a little bit higher, 8.2. So we have distributed the data. These 120 warning letters were distributed to the country wise, and also we studied how many sterile facility are there in the particular countries, particular continent, and how many warning letters are observed to those. So we can see major parts, Australia, Bangladesh, are less number of manufacturing facilities, they got kind of zero observation. But in the India part, there are 63 manufacturing facilities are there, were there, which manufacture the sterile products, and for India, the 38 warning letters were issued from 2010 to 2024. Whereas we can see here, the US has the highest numbers of manufacturing facilities, 179, and they got the warning letters of 44. So we can see here, India is the second largest manufacturing hub for manufacturing the sterile products. So if you see the distribution of the 120 warning letters worldwide, in the rest of world, 61 manufacturing facilities are there, whereas India you can see the 63 facilities are there, and the warning letters are 38 versus US 44. So we have calculated the ratio of these warning sterile facilities versus the warning letters. So ratio we can see the country wise. And also we have studied whether the particular company has got the repeated warning letter or not. So in this region there are no repeat warning letters. However, we can see in the next slide, like in the United States, 3 repeat warning letters are there, which were issued to the KC Pharma Limited, Innovatrix and Afcon Limited. Whereas in India, we can see the numbers are 6, like in MQR Pharmaceutical Limited, then Hospira, which is now taken over by Pfizer, which is a South-based company, then Oakard, then Baxter, which is currently now Claris Life Sciences, and then Dr. Reddy's and Mylan. So they got the repeat warning letters. So it will be shown in the next slide. So if you see the distribution of these warning letters or study of the warning letters with respect to the region wise, first we have covered the India, and we can see the I have kept the warning letters as a descending order. Latest one was kept in first, and then later on in subsequent slide. You can see the list of the companies. These are for the Zydus, where we have shown the Form 483 and the warning letters. They got the warning letters on 29 August 24 due to the reason that the glass particulate contaminations and also the poor aseptic practices. Like that, we can see the USF Pharma, which is now which is a part of Aurobindo Pharma, Hyderabad-based company, Sun Pharma, then Clich Healthcare. This is from Maharashtra and Mumbai. They got the warning letters due to these reasons. So like that, the list are continued. The Global Pharma Limited, Intas, and then this Sun Pharma has got the warning letters repeat. They earlier to that they were issued the warning letter in 2015 and for the same reason. So these are the list. Further, Panacea, Vintech, Pfizer, Cipla, then Cadila, with MQ Pharma, Hospira, Pfizer, Baxter, and these four companies have got the repeat observations, repeat warning letters. Then Goran, then Fresenius Kabi, Indico Remedies, USV, then Oakard, MCure, again Sandoz, Axilla, which is Mylan company, and like that Mylan, Sandoz, then Reddy's. Dr. Reddy's has 2 units, so that's why appearing in the 2 time. So again the Dr. Reddy's, then Sun Pharma, Hospira, Promed Life Science. This Promed is from the North Indian, which is now called as a Centis Pharma. This Oakard, Aurangabad, then Vintech, then Aurobindo Pharma, Cadila Healthcare, Gujarat-based company, Stericon Pharma, Claris Life Sciences. So all these companies have received the warning letters due to the reason of poor aseptic practices, deficiency in the aseptic procedures, and failure to perform the air sampling, environmental monitoring during the manufacturing of the sterile products. So you see summary of the Indian pharmaceuticals where the warning letters were issued. You can see the key trends: improper compounding, lack of sterility. The 12 numbers are there, 12, and then aseptic techniques failures, 9 numbers are there. So here the distribution we can see. This major part, serial number 1 and 2, which covers 35 plus 23, which is coming up to 58% for the major regions. So now, if you see the state-wise distribution of the data for the Indian region and number of facilities, the Telangana has a 17 manufacturing facility registered on 2024 30 September, because this is a dynamic number. So we have taken the data as on 30th September, and then where they got the 4 companies have received. So from the Telangana, we have seen that Dr. Reddy's, Aurobindo belongs to the Telangana region. Then Gujarat, like Zydus, Cadila, they have the 10. They had the 10 manufacturing facilities, and they got the warning letters to this. So in the list we have seen that every company, we can say every company is located in the Gujarat has got the warning letters, like we have seen the Zydus, Cadila, Baxter, which is now the Claris Life Sciences. So if you see the Himachal Pradesh, 7 manufacturing facilities are there. They got the warning letters in 3 numbers. Like that you can see in the Punjab region here. The one manufacturing was facility is there now recently enrolled for the USFDA, which you know that the Abril Pharma, which is based on the Derabasi. So now they are in the compliant state. They are continuing the supply of the sterile products to the US markets. They recently got the inspection done and got clearance from this as a pre-approval inspection, PI inspections. So as a part of research, we did the research on the what is the impact of these warning letters with respect to the economical growth from the India. So as a case study, we covered the warning letters from 2010 to 2023 as on March 23, and we can see here in the blue section the number of warning letters to the industry, and in the red line we can see the export to the US markets in $1,000 US. So if you see, we have seen the number of warning letters are there in the Indian region, okay, but we can see there are no impact on the economical growth. There is no impact on the exports. This reason we can attribute it to that other companies are continued their supply. The other company means which company, those are in compliant state where the warning letters are not issued. There are the USFDA approved facility. From that reason, from that company, they have supplied the products to the US market and continued the contribution for the export from the Indian regions. So this is one of the reasons. So we can say though the warning letters were issued to the Indian pharmaceutical company, but the overall export from the US from the Indian region is not impacted. So then we will see the US companies where they got the warning letters. This is the 2024 case. There's we can see the companies like KC Pharma got the repeat warning letters, and Sure Biochem, and the reason for this. So we can see these companies have got the warning letters due to the reasons like that. We can see the infusion company got the warning letters after 2000, repeat warning letters after 2019, and then Netland Pharma, this is innovator company, then KC Pharma, Surge Pharma, they got the warning letters due to the mentioned reason. So we can see the list is going on. Then also we can see the reasons are almost similar, not following the SOPs, having the issues of environmental monitoring, having the issues of aseptic process validation, media appeals, like that. So you can see the companies like Infusion, Icon, Aero, Atlas company has got the warning letters. And Samsung, Hospira, this is now Pfizer. Then Bibarum, this is an innovator company who supplies the intravenous products to the market, like IV doses from 0.9% sodium chloride and all these things. And then maybe take Alexander, Eagle Pharma, Horizons, they got the warning letter due to these reasons. So this APP is an innovator company also, which is now part of Fresenius Kabi. Then Litpold company, this is Gilead Sciences. So we'll see the summary of these warning letters from the US region, US pharmaceutical region. The main reasons are inadequate aseptic processes, personal and equipment qualification issues, inadequate quality system, improper aseptic practices, deficient return procedures, SOPs. So as we mentioned, some of the companies that received repeated warning letters like KC Pharma, Innovatrix, Icon from the USFDA. So now we'll see the warning letters to the rest of countries, including European region, apart from the US and India regions. So this Amman-based company has got warning letters. Then Japan, China has numbers of warning letters due to the non-compliance issues. Then we can see the China-based company, then Huawei, then Colgate, then again Japan. So in earlier slide we have seen that there are very less number of sterile facilities registered from the other regions as compared to the US and India. So now we move to this one. We can see the Brazil one, in Singapore, these UK-based companies, Proton Life Science, Viva Pharmaceutical, which is very known companies. they got the warning letters. Then Italy-based Gordon Pharma, then Canada-based Atrix, Italy, New Zealand-based this company has received the warning letter due to this reason. Then Jordan, Australia, Canada, you can see the reasons for those warning letters. Then this is a very famous company, Apotex, where they have sites in Bangalore also. They got the warning letters due to the airflow issues. And then Jubilant has registered the facility in the Canada. This is the Indian-based company, but the address is from the Jubilant. They got the warning letters. Then Sanofi company mostly manufacture the sterile products and the vaccines from those facilities. They have the several facilities over there. Then Gulf, the Novartis, Viva Voce companies, then Sanofi. So like that we have seen this characters-based company, then Apotex from the Canada. So they got the warning letter due to the non-following the SOPs and compromission of the environmental related issues. So we'll see the summary. Again, we can see the key issues and trends of warning letters are due to the basic cGMP violation. They have not followed the cGMPs, poor practices, lack of sterility assurance, failure of aseptic process, failure of environmental monitoring, inadequate design of facilities, cleaning and equipment maintenance, and basic sanitization failures. So if you see the distribution of these warning letters, 120 warning letters with respect to the 21 CFR, these are the legal requirements from under the heading of 211 and 210, like responsibilities of quality control units. The distribution of these warning letters are divided in India, US and rest of countries. The total percentage is 3.69, and every company from the India, US got the warning letters for this kind of reasons. The total percentage is 3.69. Like that we can see the distribution of these. So the main part here is 24.38% warning letters got due to the violation of sections 21 CFR 11.113, which talks about the control of microbiological contaminations. So now also we can see this 192 section is also important. During the inspection, the inspector has observed a non-compliance with those sections. The ratio is coming up to 14.90. So we did the Pareto analysis to identify the root causes. So we can see these two reasons, poor aseptic behavior and poor micro practices, are contributing for the major violations from the Pareto analysis. Right? Now we'll go to the summary and conclusion. So we can see from this last 15 years analysis of the warning letters from the global industries, from the rest of countries, India and US, we can see these are not specific to the any region. The issue is entirely distributed across the globals. India has a significant number of USFDA approved facilities. We have seen that 63 facilities were registered as on 24, where they are now. We also seen they are now focusing to improve the quality system. They have already taken the steps to adhere to the USFDA regulations, as evidenced by decreases in warning letters. And then also we have seen that despite of number of warning letters, the economic growth is not hampered, not impacted. Due to the reason that we have seen in earlier slide, since the other companies are continued their manufacturing supply and contributed for the export of the drugs to the US, so the overall impact is not there for the Indian industry. And we have seen the top reasons of warning letters: poor monitoring, sterility breach, and poor aseptic practices. So we did the point diagram analysis, where we can see the poor aseptic practices, insufficient, inefficient environmental management, are those issues are contributing for the sterility failure reasons. So we did the root cause analysis for why every industry is getting the warning letters. So these are summarized in this slide. So we will talk about the need of guidance. We know USFDA has released one guidance documents 20 years back, years ago, on September 2024, titling guidance, sterile drugs products produced by aseptic processing current good manufacturing practices. After 20 years, there is no as such guidance from the USFDA published to help to the industry. So as they make aware about the current trend, because we know as per cGMP regulation, current practices, current regulations has to be followed. So the scope of this guidance is very limited. This guidance does not address all the aspects of sterile products, including products processed by TS processing. So if you talk about the title of this guidance, by aseptic processing they are talking, and we know for producing the sterile product, terminal sterilization is the main steps, main process that has to be adopted, and we know this is the mandatory requirement to the European region. At least every product has to be produced by TS method, unless and until you give the scientific justification that this product cannot be made by terminal sterilization. Like say in that case, if you autoclave that product, if you adopt the autoclave, then there will be rise in impurities above the ISS limit. So in that case, they accept the aseptic product upon the scientific justification. So terminal sterilization process is mandatory to the European regions. Also, the guidelines mostly deals with the cGMP issues related to the finished products. They are not talking about the upstream process. Upstream process means we have seen in the warning letters, majority of the warning letters are related to the design of the facilities, then the manufacturing processes, environmental monitoring. So they just talk about the finished product. So as a current step, the expectation of the regulators are increased. So there is a need of guidance documents, and also there is a to enhance the understanding of the requirement of inspections. USFDA has not organized any course, training course, especially in India, to make aware to the pharmaceutical industry who produce the sterile products. There is no formal training programs imparted by the USFDA, especially in the US regions. So as the firm will make aware about the USFDA requirements and prevent the warning letters issuance. And we have seen that there is no further specific reports are available from the Indian firms taking any efforts to provide this kind of training. Means we have seen from the Indian region major companies like Zydus, Mylan, these are reputed companies, and they got the warning letters, but we have not seen, our literature is not suggest that there are efforts taken by any industry to overcome the situation, to share their knowledge to other industries, so as they can prevent the warning letters. So to overcome this situation, there is a need of introduction of the guidance documents. So based on the review of warning letters to the entire global industries, we have prepared one guidance documents. This will provide the essential recommendation of sterile products facility inspection, and this will be serve as a manual for preventing a cGMP violation for sterile products. These based on the review and as my personal experience, because I am working in the pharmaceutical industry, I have faced a couple of audits directly. So I have utilized those experience for while framing the guidance documents. So this guidance we prepared and published in the public domain in the research paper. This is available publicly. So these guidelines will address several important topics pertaining to sterile products, which we can use and avoid those issues of warning letters. So as a part, during the final Viva, the expert has raised a few questions regarding that this is what are the key suggestions to the pharmaceutical manufacturer of the sterile product to avoid such issue of the warning letters. So we try to give the response to that, answer to that. So recruiting and training and engaging the right personnel means now in the current scenario there is a situation like there is a lack of trained person, lack of experienced person who engaged, who employed in the manufacturing facility, because there are a number of facilities are there and person trained and experienced persons are there is a unavailability. So by engaging the right people and right personnel and continuous doing the training, so that we can avoid the warning letters. Also we have seen that majority of the warning letters are issued due to the environmental monitoring issues. So firm has to take efforts to make robust AEM programs, and this has to be applied to the aseptic manufacturing areas, then even in the sterility testing lab. Then applying the QBD concept, we know the QBD concept, which is mentioned in the QAD guidance document, is applied for the pharmaceutical development of products, but still we have seen that this concept is not implemented in the manufacturing side, manufacturing floor. Although this is the old concept, but applying the QBD concept to the shop floor while producing the while manufacturing the product, we can avoid the warning letters. And also this is the recent this automation means we have seen in warning letters they got the warning letter due to the manual intervention from the operator. By applying the automation in the manufacturing area, we can avoid the environmental issues as well as avoid the warning letters. And also by applying the EILM concept, by analyzing the data with the help of AI, we can avoid the warning letters to this. And then formation of the expert committee. We have seen in Indian base, as we mentioned, there are a number of manufacturing companies, reputed companies are there. If you find, if all these companies are come together and form one expert committee from those, on a regular basis they will share their learnings, share their knowledge, share their CAPAs implemented in their facilities. So other companies will make aware about those requirements and they can prevent the issuance of the warning letters. So these are the key suggestions to avoid the warning letters. Also, another question was asked by expert during the last Viva, that why the pharmaceutical company are not able to comply the requirement of USFDA, but easily comply the requirements regulations from the other countries, including India. So the reason could be the Indian and other countries' inspection are considered relatively flexible and focused on the end product. So we know the regulatory asks about the COA. So this is the end product testing. So but USFDA has a stringent requirement. They go through the from an initial designing step through the entire process. So this USFDA is considered as more stringent and they take the quick actions as issuing the warning letters. They and import alerts, they are not focusing on the end product testing in this case. So that's why the USFDA is considered as a more stringent. And also they focus on the documentation part from the facility rather the reviewing the other continuous manufacturing process. And also we know that USFDA is USFDA regulators are based on monitors their activity from the US base. They hardly visit in India. So they are readily not available to ask any questions related to the compliances. And also the lack of understanding, lack of requirements to the employee, where they oversight the requirements and trigger for the USFDA warning letters. So we can see that this CDSCO is based are readily available in India. You can simply call them and ask their guidance on particular issues. Whereas for the USFDA, there is a formal channel. We cannot directly approach them without any informal communication. There are ways of communication, so they are not readily available. So the current requirements they are unable to understand, and due to this there is issues of warning letters from the USFDA as compared to others. So also we have seen the formal training is not imparted by USFDA to make them aware to the industry, so as they can aware the warning letters. So that's all. So during this research, I have attended I have published a few papers in the journals, in the Scopus-based program. This is the list, and then this is the guidance documents we published recently. Then impact of USFDA warning letters to economy growth. This paper we have published. Third one. So I attended a webinar from the USFDA, Understanding USFDA Inspections and Data webinar on 2023 September. So they have given the overview of the drug manufacturing inspections, and I gained the general knowledge of the cGMPs and the FDA expectations. Then in this conference, I have presented the research paper, Impact of USFDA warning letter to economic growth of pharmaceutical industry. Then I attended the webinar which warning letters on ST483 recovery. This e-learning was I learned about GLP, how to follow that, then alcohol concept, then effective CAPA plan. So this is a little bit development related topics, but I attended that in recently September 2024, Advancing General Drug Development, Translating Science to Approval. So this was the 2-day sessions I attended. So references cited in the thesis are given here. This slide, I will just showing all slides. So 231 references are there. Thank you all for your patience.
Yeah, good work, good presentation. There is one warning letter, another one is closeout letter. What is that?
So the closeout letter means after issuance of warning letters, firm rectifies the issues observed during the.
So do we have any limit for that number of warning letters? After 2, 3, 4, 6, like that?
As such, there is no literature or regulations available which is limited to the number of warning letters. But the company is not able to tolerate this, because to rectify the issues after issuing the warning letters, 3 to 4 years loss is there. 3-4
like
years are
the data that some companies are getting the repeated warning letters.
So they are not able to produce this product from particular facility, but what the strategy they adopt, they shift their production, their products from the particular site where the import ban was there to another site, or even for other approved products through approved sites through as a CMO, like that. For example, I was there in the Impure Pharma Limited. Our particular site has got the warning letter 2 times. So the management or company promoter has decided that now we will not able to comply those issues. So we have to shift those products, those facility to the Gujarat, Ahmedabad, and practically they did that. And now this facility, whatever the Pune-based facility, are not compliant to the USFDA. They manufacture the products for other like domestics, Indian, or even they export to the US, ROW, but they're not manufacturers. Like that, they do the strategy.
So is there any system by USFDA, if there is a non-compliance, they can make any penalty to the companies as well? Financial penalties.
So directly, they are not directly imposing the financial penalty, but indirect way, they ban the products, they stop, they like import alerts. So that particular company will recall situation also. So direct penalties provision is not there in the regulations, but indirect financial implications are there, like the import alerts, recalls of the products.
You have taken data of 120 warning letters for sterile manufacturing out of 3,000, more than 3,000 warning letters. So what is the major chunk of those warning letters? Is there an oral solid dosage form or the other dosage form?
Those includes the oral solid dosage forms as well.
Maximum.
And other dosage forms also, like the gels, and even those includes the other products.
So now we are saying GMP is going to be revised. It is coming as GMP AI compliance. So will that make any such change into this compliance?
So as we mentioned, the FDA has taken initiative, and recently they have published one reports that how they are going to implement this AI system. There is a recent report. So FDA is taking the efforts to implement this concept, because FDA have a lot of data and they have to analyze. If you have to analyze manually, which is not possible. So with the help of AI, they are able to analyze the data and make initiative to implement this AI.
But they are forecasting that when it comes to industry 4.2 and 5.0, the AI will generate immediately warning letters when the production is going on, not by the any inspections like that. So they are making such a system that our devices will be there inside the company, and they will inform the USFDA that this problem is going on with the company.
Yeah, I have seen the recent literatures also, for where the fully automations are there. So where they will apply the AI concepts to that.
So this is other than the thesis work. How many companies in India are going to adopt this pharma industry 4.0 or the 5.0?
As I know from my company, we have created one, management has created one section for this as a excellence part, operational excellence part. So they have recruited some persons to that, and they have started to work on this.
So why only the USFDA warning letters were taken into consideration for this study?
See, if you see the majority of the market, we can see the US market is very huge for the products like sterile products. There are very good opportunities there, and there are certain issues like that. If you choose the Indian company only, the data will be very limited. To cover the entire global situation, I have choose the USFDA.
So like USFDA has given the warning letters, do Cedisco has the same system of the same mechanism of issuing the warning letters?
There is no mention in the regulation, but as we mentioned in our slide, the scrutiny of that particular company will be increased by even Cedisco. If Cedisco observe that, or they realize that that particular company has got the warning letters, then they will immediately do the inspections. They will see, and also if they found the non-compliant, they will take actions to that company.
So during literature search, have you found that EU or the Japan or the China, they are issuing the warning letters to their companies?
They have their different mechanisms. Here for the USFDA we called as warning letters, but for the other reasons the terminology is different. For the Europe region, they said that, I remember, halting the manufacturing process, they said that. And in India, I know the ban of the facility, like they said.
Like we are saying, these are available in public domains. So the compliance of the company is also available in the public domain?
No, the compliance is not available in the public domain. Only the warning letters, and also the extracted part, means the confidential part is not disclosed in the Form 483 or even the warning letters. And the response to the compliance, those are not publicly available to that, because this is the proprietary information of the particular firm.
So after issuing the warning letter, there must be a mechanism to issue the compliance document as well. The desired features of a compliance document, whether USFDA, do they have, or any other system or related system have?
They have the system like formal response, but like other module, regulatory module, they have not the particular module like Q8 module. Then like in the regulatory module, you can say, like there is no as such a formal way that in that form only we have to respond to that company, and there is no timeline.
NDA जो है review in the same way.
So what should be the strategies by the company to avoid the warning letters as well as to issue the compliance?
As we referenced in our slide, the key suggestion or key point is that everyone should make aware about the requirement. If I am aware about the requirement of the USFDA, then the warning letters can be prevented. And by implementing the proactive approach instead of waiting for the non-compliance, if you apply the proactive approach to address those, then this way we can avoid the warning letter. And also there are 2-3 concepts of the QBD and then AI, automation.
Concept has come, QBI.
Automation.
You have said quality by design. New concept has come, quality by intelligence.
Quality by intelligence.
That is automated industries and pharmaceuticals. So any questions from the house? Yeah.
Just I don't have a question there, but I want to suggest here to identify some reason for the issue of the warning letter, and 5 or 6 reasons you have identified, and also you have compared these reasons and you have identified 2 major reasons. But my question is there any reason which is specific to only Indian companies or US or international?
So if you see in our data, there is no as
You
such.
can go back to that table where you made, we have prepared the percentages.
120 का किया ना?
ये वाला, ये वाला।
This one that table.
अभी
Yes.
ये
Yeah, we can see the measurement. So there is no as such trend was found with respect to the observations are there specific to the India or the US or rest of the countries.
Indian company most of them have specific control.
So we are again, as you can see, we are lacking in the record review more than the other people.
Right.
Sanitation is not the issue.
Not
It is the rest of the world.
We see both the points where we are much higher as compared to the other two classes are record only. एक तो जो रेड हाईलाइट किया है इसे नीचे वाला जो है 2.16 और बाकियों को इतना कम.
Thank you.
Any other query from the audience?
Any
Sir, you can take it.
No query at all?
Thank you,
So
sir.
congratulations. We can call you Dr. Hemant. Yeah. Thank you. But
I would like to
ultimately
thank-
goal is to that some industry people should be benefited.
I would like to special thanks to Monica madam and Sachin sir. And
Now what sir is
Especially-
suggesting is you should take it forward with your
Yeah.
industry and the other industry.
Other industries
Yeah.
as well.